Stepping into Christian Horner's shoes as Red Bull team boss is no easy task for anyone, but in Lauren Mekies, the team has chosen someone who is perhaps as well prepared as you can be. He's not only well versed in leading the challenges of an F1 team, but also has grasps as the brutality, politics, and understands the inner workings of the Red Bull organisation. He showed his clear management strengths in bringing a squad together that had a decent start to the season in Racing Bulls and kind of changed them around and led them up the pecking orders. He's done it in a way that's been quite under the radar to the outside. His approach is one of getting on with the job in hand and letting the results do the talking rather than seeing any need to shout from the rooftops. In his own quiet way, he's managed to get the best out of his young drivers and has happily brought them on board, like lieutenants to help and support, including the likes of experienced head like Alan Permain, who succeeds him, and Tim Goss as technical chief. In ramping up what Racing Bull needs, he also worked closely with the Red Bull organisation, especially with setting up a new facility on the Milton Keynes, Kansas, which has definitely helped them. Breaking Racing Bulls through the upper echelons was never a realistic target in the short term. It's quite clear that team just wants to be P5 and developing young drivers. He has a deep breadth of experience in F1, having originally started his career at Arrows in 2001. At the end of 2002, he moved to Minardi, where he worked with the likes of Mark Webber and Christian Albers before being promoted to chief engineer for the team's transition into Red Bull's second squad, Toro Rosso. In 2014, he stepped away from the team role and joined the FIA as a safety director before joining Ferrari as sporting director in 2018 and swiftly moved up the ranks at Maranello, eventually becoming racing director and deputy team principal under Matteo Bonotto. However, he left in the middle of 2023 before reappearing at the start of 2024 as the team principal of Red Bull's second team. Since then, he's worked with Peter Bauer to get the team on the right path, and it seemed like that's what he was doing before he was led away to Red Bull. And that Mekies has successful managerial qualities, needs leading successful F1 teams, no doubt. He's personable, listens and knows how to get the best out of individuals, achieving that in a calm and collected way, and he understands racing. However, the challenges of turning things around at Red Bull is going to be immense, and the step up for the coalface with a squad that is expected to fight for the wins and titles is immense. In his first instance, he'll need to steady the ship. Red Bull's been in turmoil for the last 18 months, and of course, losing such a big figure like Horner as well. Mekies will also need to assure the Verstappen camp that he can sort things out and have a winning car ASAP. But what he will be able to offer them is assurances that he's listening and will kind of let bygones be bygones. His arrival will also be good for Sonoda, who got along with him really well at Racing Bulls, and to help drive the squad forward, he's going to need to get a quick grasp of why things are not working as well as they should be at the moment, and why things not clicked as expected with its current car. Are there personal weaknesses? Does this team need different talents on board? Is this a case of what Stella found at McLaren, where quality is there already, it's just refining? In terms of Red Bull's infrastructure, is there anything that's behind? We know, for example, they've been updating the wind tunnel. Will there be new territory for Mekies, and something that he's probably not going to be able to change dramatically with 2026 in the pipeline? The project was greenlit by Horner, and it remains the biggest uncertainty. If it gets things wrong, then it could drop away behind. He's going to have an awful lot to absorb against the backdrop of all of this chaos. However, he's someone who's proved in the past he's unflustered by this challenge, but this is uncharted territory now. In his favour, though, it's that he knows the Red Bull machine works, and he will almost certainly have made sure in accepting the role that people will realistically, there's going to be no magic bullet, and it's going to take time to get Red Bull out of the mess, because it feels like they're definitely a transition period at the moment. So it's going to be a tough task. I like the appointment of Alan Permain to Racing Bulls. He's definitely very experienced, knows his stuff, and can do a very solid job. But for Mekies, he's going to have a tough job to get Red Bull back on track, but I think it's important now for the team, and hopefully for their sake, Max Verstappen to stick by him, and hopefully they can rebuild from all the issues they've had over the past 18 months. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.